I was just telling the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. No embellishment. But the way the entire class looked at me that day, even the homeroom teacher, you would think I had claimed to be an alien princess from Mars. They didn't believe me. Worse, they laughed. It started small. One giggle. Then another. The laughter rippled through the classroom like a dropped stone in still water. Every snicker, every sideways glance felt like a paper cut on my skin. It wasn't just disbelief. It was ridicule. "Where did you say your parents work again?" Jasmine asked, her eyes wide with fake sweetness. I hadn't even answered before Ms. Latham jumped in, sarcasm painting her voice like a bad perfume. "Caitlin, the classroom is for facts, not fairy tales." The laughter exploded. I wanted to vanish, to shrink into the tiniest speck and float away. I had only said 7 words, "My parents work at NASA." And somehow that made me the class clown. Have you ever told the truth and had no one believe you? I was 11. I didn't have proof in my backpack. No rocket launch photos, no autographs from astronauts. Just my word. But in that moment, truth didn't matter. All they needed was a reason to laugh. And I had given it to them. I walked home silently. No tears. No anger. Just numb. I lay on my bed and stared at the ceiling, asking myself the one question that kept echoing: if telling the truth doesn't matter, should I just stay silent? I didn't know then that my answer was coming. Not from me, but from the very people no one believed existed. It was spring of 6th grade at Rose Hill Elementary, a small-town school where news spread faster than light and truth got twisted into fiction before lunchtime. The town loved stories as long as they could rewrite them. I never fit in. Not really. I wasn't athletic. I didn't care for fashion or trends. I loved books on galaxies, space telescopes, and interstellar mysteries. While others scrolled through TikTok, I traced constellations in sky maps. And for that I was marked. Jasmine, the class queen, believed to entertain. Perfect braids. Glitter nails. Always laughing at someone. Never herself. She didn't like me. Maybe because I didn't laugh at her jokes. Maybe just because I was different. And in our town, different meant wrong. Ms. Latham, our teacher, didn't help. She claimed to love creativity, but only if it fit neatly inside a box. Her smiles for Jasmine were wide and proud. For me, they were strained and fleeting. My parents were the opposite. My father, Dr. Marcus Bell, spoke quietly but carried a presence that filled the room. My mother, Lena Bell, was the type of woman who could discuss rocket fuel ratios while making pancakes. They never bragged, never needed to. They just loved what they did. Until that day, I never thought I had to prove anything. I thought saying where they worked would be enough. It was Monday. Ms. Latham announced a Family Career Week assignment. Share what your parents do. A chance, she said, to celebrate the people who shape us. For once, I was excited. I had practiced what I would say. When my turn came, I stood tall. My parents work at NASA. Silence. Then an eruption of giggles. What do they do? Fly to school on a rocket. One kid sneered. Jasmine smirked. NASA? You mean never actually seen anything? Then came Ms. Latham's voice. Calm. Cold. Caitlin, this is a classroom, not science fiction club. Let's stay grounded. The room laughed harder. I sat down slowly, every muscle aching. I didn't speak the rest of the day. Or the next. I stopped raising my hand. I stopped dreaming out loud. That Friday was career day. The classroom buzzed with excitement. Jasmine wore a new dress and bragged about her mom's beauty salon. Other kids pinned up photos of uniforms and work badges. I had quietly removed my name from the sign-up sheet. I didn't want my parents to walk into that. But they walked in anyway. Midway through Jasmine's animated talk about celebrities at her mom's spa, the door opened. 2 figures stepped in. My heart stopped. My dad wore a black NASA windbreaker. My mom carried a laptop and a thick binder labeled Artemis Mission Briefings. They hadn't told me. I hadn't asked. Ms. Latham looked confused. Can I help you? My mom spoke clearly. We're Caitlin's parents. I'm a lead engineer on Artemis propulsion systems. My husband specializes in autonomous flight navigation. The room went still. My dad set up the laptop. On-screen, footage played of them at mission control coordinating a satellite launch. My dad's voice crackled from the video. Phase 3 initiation confirmed. I scanned the room. Jasmine looked like she'd swallowed a lemon. Ms. Latham sat motionless, pen in hand, not writing anything. Then my mom turned to the class. We didn't come to impress. We came because sometimes the truth doesn't need to shout. It just needs to be believed. No one laughed. Not even Jasmine. When the video ended, the silence hung like fog. Heavy. Unignorable. Ms. Latham finally stood. Her voice wavered. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Bell. That was enlightening. My parents didn't gloat. My dad nodded, stepping back. But my mom wasn't finished. Caitlin shouldn't have had to prove anything. Children shouldn't be mocked for telling the truth. For being proud. Belief doesn't require evidence. Just respect. I looked down. Not because I was ashamed, but because the tears were dangerously close. When they finished, the class sat in stunned silence. Even Jasmine couldn't find a punchline. Ms. Latham couldn't hide the guilt in her eyes. Afterward, a few kids mumbled compliments. A couple said, wow. No one mocked. No one sneered. I left the classroom without a word. But for the first time, I felt weightless. Not from escaping, from being seen. In the hall, Jasmine stood near the lockers, fidgeting. She looked at me, opened her mouth, then looked away. No apology came. But she didn't smirk. And that, in its own way, was an apology. Ms. Latham didn't speak to me the rest of the day. But later that week, she took a leave of absence. No one said why, but everyone knew. I didn't feel victorious, just free. I no longer had to whisper the truth. And that mattered more than winning. I still looked at stars during recess, still carried astronomy books. But now I carried something else, a quiet, unwavering pride. One afternoon, someone joked, Caitlin, you heading to the moon after school? I smiled. Maybe. Keep an eye out. You might just see my name up there. I don't need applause. I don't need acceptance. I just need to stand. And so I do.